know like, you all are going through, and I hope here today to pass on our experiences in terms of how we fund our education so that the students will get this into the education. Okay, so today the lesson that we have how we do that. Years ago we didn't have that, and so we weren't eligible for safety. Now we are, and for a lot of the recommendations, that's covering the majority of the college campus. So if you look up at this pie chart, that's why that gray area, which covers branches scholarships, that's the majority of where our money is coming from. However, there's still a gap that we have to fill, and that's where we reach out and search for sponsorships, scholarships, and other fundraising events to get more money. Okay, and so there's a bunch of different ways to fundraise. One of the things we do to fundraise is events that we put on, and those range from just, sale of funding sale or, fresh fruit, and also whatever it is, to big events where you have, live music and food sales, whatever it is. You can collaborate with other clubs or orgs on your campus. So like I said, food sales, another idea is banquets. So you organize like a dinner and you charge a fee for entrance. And that fee for entrance, all of the proceeds for that goes towards the scholarship fund. Another thing that you all can do also is in yard sales or participating in flea markets. I went to Pasadena City College. And what they have there is a monthly flea market where a bunch of vendors from wherever we wanted to participate, they came out and sold antiques, clothes, whatever it was they wanted to sell. And so as an undocumented students on campus, we decided to get them on that free access to participate. And so we would get our own section in the flea market every month, and we would collect anything and everything we could think of, like used home appliances, furniture, clothes, anything. So, like a yard sale, but as part of the flea market. And so, fundraise with that. Another really common one is to partner up with restaurants and bakeries, or other local businesses that are willing to partner up with you, like with one of the two shop across the street that, so basically we partner them over that everybody, like, and we partnered up with them. So those are examples of events. And then specifically, they take a lot more effort to organize, and they have the least amount of payoff in comparison to sponsorships and scholarships. So for today, let's go ahead and I'm going to try to focus on is how you can get that sponsorship and sponsorship. Does anybody even know what type of sponsorship is?
For the mic, just in case. Okay, I have to start my question.
Alright. Yeah, okay, so basically, the way private sponsorship works is you ask people who might be willing to invest in your education if they want to go ahead and donate so that you can afford your expenses. And this could be anyone from family, friends, teachers, members of the community.
So, private sponsorship, how it works is that you're trying to advertise yourself so people can give you money for you to pursue something else. If you want to go on the summer trip to Costa Rica, but you don't have $4,000, yet you need to come up with those $4,000, you need to try to fundraise. So one method is asking people to give you money so you can go to that trip to Costa Rica that you want to go really bad. And these are people who are willing to donate money to you with nothing in return. So this is coming out of philanthropic efforts. Okay, which means that they believe in giving you money that you're going to use wisely, and Yeah. Any questions about what a private sponsor is? Yes.
Yeah, wouldn't the private sponsorship sort of be like best case scenario type of thing? Where they would agree with to actually help and pay for you?
It could be any amount. It could be a small amount or big amount. If you're asking just $20 for you to buy whatever you want, that could be considered a private sponsor. There's really no formal definition. It could be whoever you want this person to be. Yes.
Is it tax deductible for them? Is it tax deductible for them?
We will talk about that. So how can you? Yes. Sorry, just 1 minute break.
We haven't started the stream yet. You can pause it.
So I guess I'll continue. There's different ways on how you can obtain private sponsors. So you need to create a list of people who you think may be willing to give you money for whatever future aims you have. For example, you can start creating a list of teachers in high school that you have become, good friends with or have developed a relationship with, teachers in high school, professors or family friends, church leaders, colleagues or employers, and business. Is that it? Okay, everyone see that now? So like I was saying, you can start creating a list of potential private sponsors that you can try to contact in the future. So when you give them the package that I will later talk about how you will advertise yourself, you can have a list that you can go from and try to then give them a letter in support of your education or whatever you want to fund it. So have goals in mind. So for example, if you can get 10 people to give you $10, that will add up to $100, right? But if you can get 100 people to give you $100 each, that's going to be around $10,000 that you can fundraise. So have some goals in mind, and as you will later hear from me, if you don't first succeed in your first round of efforts to get private sponsors, just keep at it and repeat it again. So what I'm going to talk about now is creating a package that you can try to use to advertise yourself for, in my case, I use for education. I was here at UCLA back in 2009 before we had financial aid, and I was trying to fundraise money so I can attend UCLA for my first year. So I created a packet, and in this packet I had a letter, 1 to 2 pages, requesting people to finance my education, and it included my transcript from high school, and my resume, just a quick 1 page of all my work that I've done, a letter of recommendation from someone that I knew, and a letter of acceptance from UCLA. And in this packet, I had all these 5 components, and I gave it to people who I thought would be willing to consider making an investment in my education. So how to write the letter very quickly. You introduce yourself in the introduction. You can talk about your name, your major, the school you attended, and why you're writing this letter. And in the body paragraphs, you can share a bit about your story, your biography, your accomplishments, your motivation to succeed in life, and your goals. And in your conclusion, you want to sum it up very positive, and you want to mention if you've been through a lot of stuff, but despite these difficulties, I am still really motivated. I want to pursue higher education, so if you're willing to invest in me and help me to achieve my dreams, please make a donation, something like that. So now I'm going to show you really quick a sample portfolio of a fundraising packet. So in this sample portfolio, this is the letter. You cannot really read it right now, but it says right there, for example, I write this letter to respectfully request your financial assistance in support of my pursuit of a bachelor's degree in sociology and my goal of becoming a contributor member of society, and blah, blah, blah. So this is kind of how the letter is structured and organized. So it has an introduction, body paragraphs, and then conclusion. And this is a sample packet from a student who was successful in raising money for their education. And this is one of their sample letters of admissions to UCLA, just to show the private sponsor proof that they got it. This is a copy of the student's transcript from community college. You can include it, it's optional, you don't have to, but it just adds up a little bit more for your paper to show them that you did well as a student. And this is the resume that the student included. As you can tell, high school education, academic activities, extracurriculars, all these things, and then references, of course, and then another recommendation from the person's recommender. And another recommendation letter from, this is actually a nonprofit that the student did volunteer work, so it's good to have those networks with people that you volunteer. And you include this in the packet, and it could be a yellow envelope. It could be as big as you want it to be, just as long as it has all the main ingredients. And then you send the packet to, you go back to your list of potential private sponsors that you could gather earlier, and you send it to them. You can deliver it in person, or mail, or email, whichever choice you want. And you want to give them some time to give you a response. And if they respond back, you want to give them around 2 or 4 weeks. It's up to you. You don't have to rush them. Like, give them the first day and then contact them the 3rd day and say, why haven't you responded? Just give them time, and ask your friends and family members to spread your packet to people that they may know will be willing to invest in your education. And then remember to give someone your portfolio to someone that you think will take time to look at it and really consider making an investment in whatever you're trying to pursue. And when the responses are in, you wanna, if they say no, it's okay. If they can make a donation to your education or whatever you're trying to pursue, to say it's okay, thank them anyway for considering you, and ask them if they can forward it to people that they may know who might be willing to look into it. And if they say yes, thank them right away, and make sure to give them a thank you letter. And this is the part where the method of receiving the payment comes in. You can ask them what's the best way for you to make a donation. If they want to give you cash, you can take cash. If they want to give you a check, they can take a check. But if they're making a significant donation to you, you want to tell them that the option of making it tax deductible for tax purposes is present. And how you can achieve this is by trying to contact a nonprofit organization. It could be a church, it could be a community center, and ask them if they're willing to receive a scholarship for you through them, so the private sponsor can make the check tax deductible. So that's one method that earlier today was asked. So it's through a nonprofit organization at 503 501. Sorry, I forgot the name, but it has to be a nonprofit organization, and because nonprofit organizations have the ability to make tax deductible checks. And this is what I was talking about. You can try to find an online near nonprofit organization, and usually they will charge about 10%, but that's for their services, but the rest of the money you will get. And more details about that I include here our website, www.fiscalsponsordirectory.org, and it contains a list of all LA nonprofit organizations that are local. And follow up with a thank you letter. And now we will be moving forward with the second method, which is scholarships.
Before I go ahead and start talking about scholarships, I just want to add one final point to everything that Jose was talking about. I don't know about you all, but when I first heard about private sponsorship, it seemed like a really difficult method of financing their education, and I felt like I didn't have too much faith in it. But I have known some students that have been very successful with it, and the reason for that is because their grades show that they're good students, they're involved in some sort of extracurricular activities, and so they have work behind them, that proves that they deserve, to go on and reach their goal, and two, that they're already committed, and you've shown that. And so when your potential sponsors look at, your package, that's what they're looking for. So ask yourself, if you were in their shoes, what kind of package would you want to see? Would you want to sponsor a student who's kind of got, so committed to immigrant rights or grades aren't, all that great? No, you want to donate to a really good student who's shown a lot of potential, who volunteers in their community, And so keep that in mind when, if you're considering private sponsorship, that you want to be really involved and you want to show these people that, because there's the money and that you're going to do something good with it, right? Because otherwise, then you're just throwing your money away. You want to do that. Okay?
I can get the information from the last page later. I mean, once this is over.
Okay. Okay. So for private scholarship, sorry, before you apply to any, you want to make sure that you meet the criteria. And so as you're going online and you're searching for scholarships, there's going to be different criteria. Some of them is going to be based solely on academic merit, so they're going to be looking mainly at your grade. Others of them will be financial needs. They might just ask you to write, your parents' combined income on the application. They might ask for copies of your parents' tax documents. So it depends from scholarship to scholarship. Others of them really want to award students that are really active in the community. And so what they're going to be asking for is proof that you've been involved. And that could be anything from campus orbs, if you're involved in your church. Again, it all depends on who's giving you the scholarship. And then lastly, some scholarships will be kind of a combination of financial need, academic merit, and community service. Most of the ones that I've gotten have been a combo of the three. Second thing you want to do is you want to plan around deadlines. Scholarships have, really strict deadlines, and we don't mean that there's no way that they're going to consider your application. So when searching for it, I would recommend that you keep track of what those deadlines are, however you prefer. My preferred method is to do an Excel spreadsheet, and so that way I have the most upcoming deadlines way at the top, and then the other ones that are my later priorities at the bottom. That way I make sure that I don't miss anything and, cancel my eligibility for the scholarship. So along those same lines, another thing you want to do is to do anticipation. If you're, let's say, in high school right now, and you're a junior, you're planning on going to a four-year right out of high school, you want to start looking for scholarships during your senior year. Because what's going to happen is most scholarships, let's say they take the application in, I don't know, February, right? They might not give you that money until November. And so don't rely on scholarships as a source of money that you need tomorrow, the next day, because it's not going to happen like that. Anytime you review applications, they tend to disperse that money, and so keep that in mind. One cool research website that I like for scholarship is called scholarshipjustice.com. It's got a bunch of articles on a bunch of different topics, ranging from how to stay organized. So I mentioned a few minutes ago that Excel spreadsheet that I use. That's one tip that they help you, that the video students can help you get scholarships. Another one is preparing for interviews. Some scholarships don't require interviews, they'll just look at your application and based off that, they'll say, okay, you're a good candidate, you want to give it to you. Others of them, the more competitive ones, which are usually the ones that award the most money, they will ask you to come in for an interview and you want to be prepared for that. So that's the website that takes you through some steps that you can do to prepare for your interview. A last question?
In the interview parts, that with scholarship junkies?
No. So the website just provides tips on how to prepare. But the interview would be with the person who's awarded or the organization. When you apply, it's very important that you keep a checklist of all the things that you're going to have to turn in. Because if you're missing even one document, even if it's just something small in your application packet, that's grounds for automatic disqualification from the application process. And if you don't want to be that person, then you work so hard on a really great essay, you put a lot of time into your application, but you just forgot one thing. It could be, a signature, or a document, whatever it is, you're not going to look at your application anymore. Because they have so many others to review, and they're not going to do it the headache of contacting you and asking you for that extra information. So yeah, keep our materials checklist. The scholarship itself, when you look for it, they will all have descriptions detailing what you're going to need to turn in. And so for the most part, the common things that are asked are some sort of personal statement regarding who you are, where you come from, why you deserve the scholarship, things like that. The other component will be full record. So transcripts, enrollment. You want to know that you're actually a student and that you're going to use this money to student. Resume detailing what kinds of activities you've been involved in. Again, I can't emphasize enough, you have to be active in the community in order to get a lot of these scholarships. And then lastly, is letters of recommendation. That's also very important. I would really recommend to you all to build relationships and connections with the people on your campus, with the people in your community, in order for them to be familiar with your work, and so they can back you up when you want to apply, and you can write a really good letter saying, this student, I've known him or her for such and such a period of time, and in that period of time that I've known this student, they've demonstrated that they're a really good student, and this kind of like blah, blah, blah. Another thing that has really helped me out getting scholarships has been a scholarship portfolio that I keep. So as opposed to having all the documentation and you just scattered everywhere around the house, I know some people that do that. You want to keep them all in one place where you're not going to lose them and where you can reference when you sit down and apply for scholarships. I should mention that searching and applying for scholarships can be a really time-consuming process. I don't want any of you all to be discouraged by that. When I first started doing it, I was just like, I thought I could just go online, search for scholarship, find one, apply, and get it, and it would be, a snap and that easy. And it wasn't like that at all. I applied for a lot of scholarships. Sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. Either way, it requires a lot of time, effort, and energy, but it pays off at the end of the day. When I transferred from TC to UCLA, I graduated with $7,000 in scholarships, and that helped me cover all my living expenses. Otherwise, I would not have been able to, because the financial aid of the school was enough. If I see some questions, I will explain it now. To cover my tuition, a little bit of my books, but it wasn't enough for me to afford to live in the live campus. Which is something I really wanted to do because I wanted to stay involved with ideas and other work on campus. So I really recommend that you keep that scholarship portfolio. You have it handy. All the original documents stay in your house, so you can, have a copy of the scholarship portfolio that you can keep portable and maybe show it to professors that you're asking letters of rec from, but that original always stays in your house because you don't want to lose all of your documents. And so this is an example of a scholarship that I keep in my scholarship portfolio, and it just helps me keep record of what scholarships I've applied to, when I've applied to them, how much the award has been. The focus, which would be like really academic based, would be financial need based, websites, so if I want to apply again, because I have documents, I know where to go to find that information and whether I got it or not. So some scholarships, you may get them 1 year and they'll allow you to apply again and award it to you. Others of them, they only give it to you once, and the next year allow for other students to get it. And so you do want to keep track of them. I wanted to show you all an example of colleges that I took for scholarships. So, one popular website that's used as a scholarship database is mydesk.org. So here we are at the home page. And you kind of have to browse around a little bit if you're not familiar with it to find the link to the scholarships. They might be, in different places on the website. So this one has a link at the bottom and also has a link here. So we'll click on this, and if you scroll down, you'll see that there's a few resources that they provide for you. So here, for example, on the student activist scholarship program, that's pretty for you all. Another one is the scholarship resource guide. So, just trying. Yeah, and so this research guide is updated yearly. This is for the 2014-15 year. And if you scroll down, you're just going to find a list of what's going on with scholarships. And I mentioned to you earlier that we're all going to have description with the voting criteria, how much the award amount is, the deadlines. So because, for example, Crimson Prize increased tuition national rate. You can see when your deadline is to see if you can get your application in on time. Check that you meet your requirements so that you're a good fit. Because if you don't meet those requirements, they're not going to look at your application. And then lastly, you just want to go to that website and thoroughly go through all the information that they're going to provide to you. Find that application. So there's links that people will ask questions, examples of previous applications and students, and a detailed explanation of what the application is doing. So again, that's just one example. But there is, a whole list to go from here. So just make sure that you write down this website information, which is monweb.org. Go through as many scholarships as you can. Apply to all the ones that you're eligible for. Hopefully you get them. If you don't, keep trying. And most students I know, you might not get all the ones that you apply for, but you will get one or two. And the more you apply, the more you involve, the better you'll get at getting those scholarships. When I first started, I would get one, and the rest of them was rejecting. But I just took that as a sign that my application was stronger, and I had to be more competitive. So how did I do that? I joined the board of student documented student development campus, and not just to get the scholarships, but to give back to my community. It's kind of a two-way response thing. And that's how you go about changing that. Questions on how?
What was the other website besides
It's c4nc.org. Any other questions? Yes.
¿De qué pueden entonces un muchacho de high school aplicar para?
Sí, desde la preparación, pueden. Ajá.
¿Y qué tipo de cosas se
Um,
guardan para cuando va a la universidad? ¿O es?
La mayoría que he visto para los estudiantes de high school son para los estudiantes que están en el 11 o en el 12. Tal vez hay algunos para los estudiantes más menores, pero la mayoría son ya para los que están listos ya para la universidad. Yeah, so we try to, for example, Maya tries to give it to a diverse group of Latinos, but they will also try to have one resource guide that focuses specifically for undocumented students. So just make sure you look for that whenever you go on this slide. Any other questions?
So the issue of the scholarships is when they award it to you, do you expect it to use that money that semester, or do you save it and spend it for the next semester or else leave it?
You just need to, once Here's the thing, you just need to apply, and once you apply and you get awarded the scholarship, then you talk to them and see how they will deliver the money to you. And if you don't want to use it for the first semester, then you need to talk to them and see if you can use it for the second one. There's no really answer for that. You just need to get the award. But once you get the award, then you have options.
The ones that I've applied to haven't really finished with one university for me, so long as it goes for 2 universities. Sometimes they'll come back after a year of awarding you and ask for the proof that you haven't done with the home exchange school. Most of the time they won't. I've never invested in that kind of information. And so you have, the flexibility in terms of like the one. A lot of times I've just been, so there's, no. Any questions?
I wanted to recommend another good website with a lot of resources for undocumented scholarships. The Berkeley website from UC Berkeley. It's called undocu.berkeley.edu. Undocu.berkeley.edu.
I don't know if I have any internet,
Sure,
but
work with-
hopefully everybody. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's, thank you for that. I've never done that one, but I'm sure that,
.berkeley.edu. Yeah, they actually have other kinds of great resources also for documented students. Yeah, there's another E after the K.
But yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so any other questions? ¿Mande?
Uno de los requisitos que decía para estudiar, decía que tenía, por ejemplo, para una universidad, tenía que vivir en la bahía de San Francisco.
Sí.
Pero yo no vivo en Los Ángeles, pero si mi hija piensa estudiar allá, ¿puede aplicar a esa universidad para Berkeley?
Ella tiene que contactar los directores de esa beca y preguntarles si ellas pueden hacer una aplicación. Si está restringido a estudiantes que viven en esa área, nomás entonces no puede aplicar. Pero, sí, tiene que hablar ella con los directores. So, algo que tienen que aprender es que también los estudiantes, ellos tienen que ser muy independientes y contactar a los directores de becas. Programas de las becas y preguntarles, soy documentado, ¿me considerarían para esta beca? O yo no vivo ahí, pero puedo aplicar todavía.